For me?
Get my reaction to Back to the Future out right away. Along with a very different Prizzi's honor, this is my favorite film of the summer movie season. If I had the ability to make lighthearted pictures for the teen and young adult market, I'd hope I'd have the ability to make a film as enjoyable as Back to the Future. I really think it's that good. Back to the Future is a time travel movie, a category I usually hate because, you know, they're never really going to change things when they go back in the past, because that would mean that the future that we saw at the beginning of the film would have had to have been a lie, right? So there's no suspense there. But, and I won't dare say how, Back to the Future managed to beat that problem, and it fooled me, and it delighted me in so doing. The time travel comes about when a high school kid played Michael J. Fox from the TV show Family Ties bumps into his good friend, a wacky scientist, at the local mall.
You made it!
Yeah.
Welcome to my latest experiment. This is a big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
And, of course, the experiment is the time travel, and I love that touch, the DeLorean motor car, as we see right there.
A car that was ahead of its time.
Very good, Rod. That was Christopher Lloyd as the scientist, and he's pretty good in a convincing variation on Jerry Lewis's Nutty Professor. This time machine does work. It transports young Marty back to 1955, to before he was born, to where he wants to set up a date, it turns out, between, get this, his mother-to-be and his father-to-be. But his mom would rather go out with him. Neat idea.
Lorraine?
Calvin!
I'd like to meet my good friend, George McFly. Hi. It's really a pleasure to meet you.
How's your head?
Oh, good. Fine.
Oh, I've been so worried about you ever since you ran off the other night. Are you okay?
Oh, it's hurting.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
Come on.
Isn't he a dreamboat?
Doc, she didn't even look at him.
This is more serious than I thought. Apparently your mother is amorously infatuated with you instead of your father.
Whoa, wait a minute. Doc, are you trying to tell me that my mother has got the hots for me?
Precisely.
Whoa, this is heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy, and it's funny. Just hope you got it there. Those two people that he was trying to put up together at the lockers, those were his parents as teenagers. Now, this relationship is played out in the film for laughs and for sexual danger, the relationship between him and his mother, and even at the end of this film, for some teary emotion. What would you say, if you think about it, meeting your mother as a teenager? What would you feel if you saw your parents as young people? What a thrill that would be. And this film, rather than being helter-skelter action picture, which it could have been, holds on that moment. I credit the director, Bob Zemeckis, for having the sensitivity, the smarts, to make this something bigger than just a laugh-a-minute special effects picture. There's a real heart to this film. Back to the Future has all that emotion, a most clever and funny and interesting script written by Bob Zemeckis and his partner, Bob Gale. And the writing here, I think, is really the star. This script couldn't have been ruined if it had been directed by the director who did Red Sonja. If it had starred the cast of Red Sonja. So I guess I've made my point. Back to the Future receives my highest recommendation as a film.
Pretty good screenplay. And like all good screenplays and all good movies, it starts out with something of universal interest, which is, in this case, what would it be like to meet your parents, as you pointed out, when they were kids? Because I think everybody grows up thinking, my parents were never young. And the fact is, the parents, this is the secret parents have from kids, they don't think they're ever old. And so this movie plays with that paradox in such a beautiful way that it's not just a time travel picture, not just an action picture. I agree with you. It's a picture almost like Frank Capra would have made, in which the underlying message of this communication between the generations is kind of
I just hope that
beautiful.
I hope that this title, Back to the Future, doesn't put off adults. Or even when I said in the beginning, teen and time travel and young adult, I can't imagine anyone not liking this film. I really think this is a very special picture.
I mentioned Capra. You know the Capra picture it reminds me of? You can probably guess. It's a Wonderful Life.
You bet.
Because here's a case, once again, of somebody finding out through some kind of magical intervention that things aren't so bad.
No.
And that they could even be kind of good.